started by sitting in the middle of our mat with our legs crossed, hands on our knees, sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath, inhale. And on the exhale, we're gonna lean forward. We're gonna make nice big circles in case we've been sitting, doing some work. I know I was sitting for a while, so this right here feels really, really nice. I'm gonna make nice big circles here. And then we're going to pause and go in the opposite direction. Just making nice big circles here. Last one. And from here, we're gonna sit up nice and tall. Inhaling our arms up. Exhaling, we're gonna bring our right palm down, right elbow down, making a nice long stretch for that long side body. Opening up that shoulder so that we can look past that left elbow, making sure that both hips are on the ground, and if they aren't, then maybe coming up a little bit. On the inhale, we're gonna come all the way up, rainbow our arms over. Same thing, palms down, elbows down, both hips are on the ground, and opening up that shoulder. On the next inhale, we're gonna come all the way up, and we're gonna cross our legs so that whatever was on the bottom will now be on the top, whatever was on the top will now be on the bottom. And on the exhale, we're going to lean forward. Maybe bringing our foreheads down. Inhaling and exhaling. On the next inhale, we're gonna roll up vertebrae by vertebrae and relax our shoulders. We're gonna bring our hands out and our knees out, coming into a tabletop position. Making sure that we engage our core and making sure that everything is in alignment, which means that our shoulders directly above our elbows and our elbows are above those wrists. We have our hips directly up on top of those knees, and just taking a look to see, making sure that our knees are tracking our ankles on top of those toes. The eyes of our elbows are facing one another. They're looking at each other. Pressing those palms into the mat. We're going to take a couple of cat-cows here. So we're going to inhale, press against the mat, and exhale to curl in. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Couple more here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale into a neutral spine. From here, we're going to bring our left leg out. Toes are going to be pointing forward. And again, we want to make sure everything is tracking here. So we have our left hip, left knee, left ankle. One nice long, beautiful line with that beautiful leg. We're going to inhale up, exhale down into our cat pose. Taking a couple of cat-cows here in this beautiful new variation. Taking in all the beautiful sounds of my house right now. Inhaling and exhaling. Last one, inhale. Exhale into a neutral spine. We're going to bring that left leg in, and then we're going to bring that right leg out. Toes are pointing forward, and again, we have the right hip, right knee, right ankle. One nice, long, beautiful line. Making sure that we are stacked, and taking a couple of cat-cows here. So inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Just taking a few more cat-cows here. Gently waking up our hips. Inhale into a long spine. Bringing our feet together, knees together. We're going to push back and come up into a downward dog. Pedal it out here. I'm gonna take a second to try to lower the sounds in my house. And once we've pedaled it out, we're gonna push back. Try to keep those heels on the ground. And if they're not on the ground today, it's okay. Maybe later on in our practice or maybe later on in the week. Pushing your chest towards your thighs. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe our toes to the front of the mat. We're going to inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to bend our knees, bringing our chest directly on top of our thighs. Let our head hang. On the next inhale, we're just going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Letting our chin be the last thing to arise. And on inhale, we're going to bring our arms up, opening up our heart, palms together, and down to heart center. One more, inhaling, opening up our heart, a little bit of a back bend, inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to swan dive forward. Planting those palms, we're going to shoot that right leg back, left leg back, coming into a plank, our first plank. Inhale. And exhale to slowly lower down. Untucking the toes. Inhale into baby cobra. Exhale, push back, tuck those toes under, coming up into our second downward dog here. The next inhale, we're going to lift that right leg up. Bend the right knee, open up the right hip. Make nice big circles with that right leg. You might be cracking, I know that I am. And then we're going to make circles going in the opposite direction. We're going to bring that knee into our chest, plant the foot in between our palms. On an inhale, we're going to come all the way up into our high lunge. Really bending that right knee and coming up and out of our hips so that we can get a nice stretch on that left thigh. Lengthening that left knee. Leaning forward so that that left heel is nice and off the ground. Inhale to lengthen. Open up the heart, open up the heart, open up the heart. And exhale forward. Plant those palms, shoot the right leg back. Inhale. On the exhale, we're just going to lower our knees. Again, inhale. Exhale to lower down. Scoop through into our upward dog. Inhale here. Exhale, we're going to push back, tuck those toes under, lifting up into our downward dog. From here, we're going to inhale to lift that left leg up. Bend that left knee, open up the left hip. And then we're going to make nice big circles with that left knee going in one direction. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction. Bring that knee into your chest, plant that foot in between the palms. Find your balance. On the inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Bending that left knee. Coming up and out of our hips. And from here, we're going to open up our heart. Open up our heart. Lengthen that right leg. Bending that left knee. Inhale. And exhale, plant those palms. Step the left leg back. Inhale. Exhale, we're gonna lower down halfway. And inhale, we're gonna scoop through. Now at this point, we have done 3 variations of our chaturanga. You can take either one or any of them or all of them, switch them up as you please. Inhale and exhale. I'm not gonna be cueing the planks into our upward dogs. I'm gonna just invite you to take your flow, and you take whichever flow, whichever modification works for you. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale to push back into your downward dog. At this point, your downward dog, you must feel a little bit more comfortable. Try to bring those heels down. And if they don't come down, maybe walk your feet up just a little bit. And then try to bring your heels down from here, pushing your chest into your thighs. And if your heels don't come down to the mat today, that's okay. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe next year. Now you just know what you're looking for. That's all. Inhale. Exhale, bring that right leg into your chest. Plant that right foot. Bring that back heel down and back. We're gonna inhale, coming up into our warrior one, bending that right knee. And then we're going to bump the right hip back. 1, 2, 3. Making sure that our hips are parallel to the front of our mat. Bending the right knee, lengthening the left leg. Inhale to reach up. And exhale to relax your shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to open up into our warrior two. Just taking a look at where your feet are, where your arms are in space. Lengthening that left leg, bending that right knee, making sure that your right knee never passes those right toes. And then from here, we're going to activate those thighs. As if there's a magnet on the inside of that left thigh and the back of the right thigh, trying to squeeze them in together. You're really activating your core, engaging everything around your hips, relaxing your shoulders. Maybe look back and see where your left hand is in space. Make sure it's not floating away. Looking past your right fingertips. Inhale. And exhale to get a little bit deeper into your warrior two. Lengthening that right leg, flipping the right palm and reaching towards the front of your mat. Bringing that right hand directly on top of that right shin, bringing that left hand up. Engaging that right knee and bringing it up towards the hip. Relaxing your shoulders. And as if I were to be there in that room with you, you're going to inhale and pull that left arm up and back. Bending that right knee, take a deep breath, inhale. And on the exhale, we're gonna cartwheel our arms over the right leg, coming onto the tops of the left toes, shooting that right leg back. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, take your flow. We meet in downward dog. Inhaling and exhaling, push back. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to bring that left knee into the chest, plant that left foot in between your palms, bring that right heel down and back. I'm going to face the opposite direction so that I can see you, so you can see me. From here, we're going to inhale our arms up and rotate that back heel down and back if you haven't already. Coming into our warrior one. This time we're gonna bump that left hip back. Bump, bump, bump. Really trying to get that left hip and right hip parallel to the front of our mat. Lengthening that right leg, bending the left knee, coming up and out of our hips. Inhale. Open up the heart. Exhale, get a little bit deeper into your warrior one. One more time. And on the exhale, we're gonna open up into our warrior two. Once again, finding that magnet that's on the back, on the side of that right thigh, on the back of the left thigh, as if they were trying to bring your thighs together, really activating our legs, engaging our core, relaxing our shoulders. Take this time to just notice where your right hand is in space, making sure that it doesn't float away from you. Inhaling and exhaling just a little bit deeper here. Lengthen that right leg. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale to lengthen that left leg this time. Flip the left palm, reach. Bringing that left hand on top of that left shin, bringing that right arm up. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Engaging that left knee in towards the hip. Remember to breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Couple more here. And again, as if I were there, pulling you from your fingers, you're going to inhale, lift up through that right arm. You're going to cartwheel your hands over that left leg and you're going to take your flow. I'll meet you there. Pushing back into our downward dog. We're going to slowly walk our feet towards the front of the mat. Excuse me. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and bend that right knee. Bend that left knee. Bend that right knee. Bend that left knee. We're going to keep the lefty bent. We're going to bring the right hand down towards the ground, and we're going to, on an exhale, lift that left arm. So inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift that left arm. Inhaling and exhaling. One more inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to release and switch. Bending the right knee. We're going to leave the left hand down, and this time we're going to, on an exhale, bring that right arm up. Always using our breath to move our body, to prepare our body. Because life is so much easier when we just breathe. One more inhale. And exhale to release. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to roll up. Roll up. Roll up. Beautiful. From here, we're going to open up our feet, not too wide. We want to point our toes away from us and our heels on the inside. And from here, we're going to bend our knees and then adjust yourself. Our toes are open, our knees are open. And again, we want to make sure that our knees are tracking on top of those ankles. So it's easier to adjust when you're narrow to open up your feet as opposed to being open to closing our feet. So this practice is really all about integrity. You're choosing the modifications. You're challenging yourself. This is all about you. You're the only one that's gonna know. So we're gonna open up our feet, open up our knees as wide as possible, and then we're gonna come into kind of like a sumo squat here, but a lot wider. So we're not going as deep yet. So we're gonna bend our knees here and we're gonna engage that core, lifting up. Sometimes we lean forward because this is such a great cheat. We really want to sit back, open up our knees, and from here, we're going to come into our cactus arms, palms facing in towards our heads, and we're going to hold here, engaging the core, lifting up through the spine. This is called the goddess pose. Bending those knees. Then we're going to inhale to lift, arms out and release. So we're just going to do this 5 more times. We're not going to hold them nearly as long. We've already gotten the alignment, so just be very mindful as you move. We're going to inhale and exhale into our pose. Inhale to come up, exhale into our pose. We got it? I can't see y'all, but I think your thumbs are up. So here we go. Inhale and exhale. Arms up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Try to get as deep as you can, as is comfortable for you. Inhaling, exhaling. We just got one more here. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to hold here, relaxing our shoulders, and just being mindful of our breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. One more. Last one. And release. We're going to heel toe our feet together. And from here, we're going to come into our malasana. So we're going to come down, all the way down to the ground, into a full squat. Palms together. And you're going to use your elbows. Your toes are still pointing out. Your heels are in towards your body. Your palms are together, and you're going to use your elbows, if necessary, to open up those knees. Again, trying to create a nice long spine, engaging your core. Everything is always engaged. Your toes, your feet, your palms, relaxing your shoulders. And, of course, we're breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to go ahead and open up that left arm if you have space and try to bring it down towards the floor. If not, this is a great time to use your block or a blanket or a puppy, whatever you have to help you get that groundedness that you need in this pose. And on an exhale, you bring that opposite arm up and open. And if you still have some space here, you can come into your full bind by bringing that right hand, flipping it so your palm is facing away from you, bending that elbow, and then bringing that left hand around and holding the hands together in the clasp. So my hands look like this behind me. And if you can't do that today, that's fine. Again, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week or next month or next year. Today, we stay here. Honoring our bodies, challenging our bodies, and loving and appreciating our bodies exactly where they are right now. Just taking a couple more breaths here. And release, coming back to palms together. We're going to switch to the opposite side. Inhale. And exhale. Now that we know what we're doing, we're extending that right hand and we are extending that left hand. And if you took your bind on the opposite side, you can go ahead, flip that palm so your palm is facing away from your body, bending that left hand to come around you, and then bringing that right hand around that knee to pull and clasp your arms and really open up that left shoulder. Again, this is what my hands look like behind me. And if we're not there today, then we're not there today. Honor your body where it is today and hold your pose. Gently release, coming back. Long spine. Take a deep breath, inhale. And exhale. The next inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift. Coming to a standing position. Heel toeing our feet together. All the way together. Inhaling, arms up. Open that heart. A little bit of a back bend. Exhale, swan dive down. Take your flow. We meet in downward dog. Take a deep breath, inhale. On the exhale, you're going to bring that right knee into the chest, and then you're going to cross it over the left knee, and we're going to bend the left knee to help us counterbalance that stretch. Really getting into our hips. Then bring that right knee into the chest, and bring the right foot to the outside of that right wrist. Lowering down that left knee. Letting the toes open up towards the right side of the mat, away from our bodies. So I'm going to turn around so that you can see me better. So if I'm here, we're coming into our lizard pose, untucking the back toes. I'm turning my feet away from my body, so it's allowing me to open up my hip just a little bit more. And then from here, you can take a couple of breaths, and once you are ready, come down onto your elbows. And just look back at that left leg and make sure that your hip is directly tracking that knee, and the knee is tracking the ankles, and the ankles are tracking the toes. Because sometimes we tend to get a little bit out of alignment, and it may make the pose a little bit easier in the short run, but in the long run, it can cause some discomfort in the body, and we don't want that. We want to avoid injury and practice safely. If you haven't already, maybe coming down onto the elbows. Gently coming back onto the palms. If necessary, if you feel like you still need a little bit more of a stretch, bring those toes forward and bend that left knee maybe. You're going to really feel that in the front of that left hips and a little bit on that left quad. And even in this pose, we want to make sure that our knee never passes our toes unless our feet are open. And if you have space, maybe reaching around to grab onto that foot and really bringing it to our body, but it's not necessary. If you're not there, then maybe this is just good for today. Gently release. Coming onto the tops of the left toes, we're going to heel toe, our toes over towards the left side, and we're going to let our right knee come down. We're going to come down onto that left thigh, untucking the back toes. And once again, I'm going to look back and make sure that everything is tracking. Left hip, left knee, left ankle, left toes, making sure that nothing is floating in space. And from here, coming down onto your elbows whenever you're ready. If you had a long day of sitting, if you had a long day of traveling or weeks of traveling, you will really be feeling this in your hips. Gently coming down onto your elbows if you haven't already. And if you have the space, maybe coming down onto your belly. Taking a couple more breaths here. Gently coming onto the palms. And from here, please be very mindful of how you get up. You're going to tuck your toes under. When you lift that back left knee, you're also going to lift your right knee and your right ankle. You're lifting everything up with you. Nothing is hanging out on that mat. Take a deep breath to prepare. Exhale. Inhale to lift and shoot back. Pedal it out. Go ahead and take your flow. We meet in downward dog. This time we're going to bring the left knee into the chest, and then we're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee, bend the right knee to start waking up that hip. We're going to gently bring it down and just notice the subtle difference in your hips before we get into this hip opener on the left side. I'm just going to turn around. We're going to take a deep breath. Inhale. On the exhale, we're going to bring that left knee into the chest and then out over towards the left wrist. Adjust yourself as necessary. Slowly lowering down that right knee and then untucking the back right toes. Opening up that left foot away from the body. Giving our body a little bit more space to come down onto the ground. And this is a beautiful, perfect time to breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Take a look back, make sure that everything is tracking. I am not tracking right now. So that's why we all must check for our alignment. Take a deep breath. And if you haven't already, go ahead and lower down onto your elbows. Again, remember to breathe. Wherever you feel that discomfort, really try to send your breath there. And when you exhale, imagine that you've created a little bit of space, which will allow you to get a little bit deeper into your pose. Just breathing into that space of discomfort and exhaling to create space. Get a little bit deeper. Inhaling and exhaling. Reminding ourselves that everything is okay. We're just doing a little bit of yoga. Just doing a little bit of stretching. We got a couple more breaths here. Until we come up onto our palms. And just to keep ourselves nice and even, bringing our toes forward and bending that right knee this time. And again, if you have space, maybe reaching back with that left hand to bring that foot in. and create a little bit more of a stretch. And if we're not there today, then tomorrow is always another day. Go ahead and lower down that foot, and then heel toe, heel toe, heel toe into our pigeon pose on the opposite side. Once again, just looking back and make sure that you're tracking. And follow your breath. Inhaling wherever you feel that discomfort. Exhaling, create space for yourself. Whenever you're ready, if you haven't already, go ahead and lower down onto your elbows. And if you have the space, maybe down onto your belly as well. And remembering that if there's something that we can't do today, there's no need to get attached. The important thing is that you made it here, you're on your mat, and you're doing something for yourself. That in itself is a win in my book. Remembering to give ourselves the grace that we give others, the kindness that we give others, and pouring that onto ourselves as well. We have a couple more breaths here. And whenever you're ready, start making your way up to your palms. And again, when we lift up that right knee, we're lifting up everything with it. We're not letting anything hang out on the mat. Everything comes up with us. So engage that core, tuck that right toe, and when you lift that right knee, everything's coming with you. Ready? Take a deep breath. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. Inhale to lift and push it back. Oof. Go ahead and pedal it out. You're welcome to your new hips. These are brand new. They're yours to keep. Push back. From here, we're going to take our flow, whatever that looks like for you, and we meet in downward dog. Nice. From here, we're going to come down into a child's pose. Really trying to bring the feet into our heels. And I do that just by rocking back because I'm using my hands to push my body back. And then we're going to lower our foreheads. We're going to hang out here for a little bit. We're going to just bring our hands in, and I'm just going to hold your hands into a fist and release, still in our child's pose. We're just doing some work on our hands. And releasing. Take a couple more breaths here. And on the inhale, we're going to come into all fours. And then we're going to come into a plank. From here, we're gonna bring that right knee into the chest, and then we're gonna cross it over. Coming onto the tops of the left foot, and coming all the way up into a plank pose, fallen star pose on the right side. I'm gonna lower that right hip and lift. Lower that right hip and lift. 3 more, just like that. Lower down, lift. 2 more. Lower down, lift. Last one. Lower down and lift. Hold here. We're going to bring that right hand down, cross that right leg back, paddle it out on the right side. Go ahead and take your plank, take your flow. We meet in downward dog. Now I'm going to turn around. Plank. Bringing that left knee into our chest, crossing it over, coming into our fallen star pose on the left side. Inhale. Exhale to lower down and lift. Lower down and lift. 3 more. Lower down and lift. Remember to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Lift. Lift. Last one. Lift. Lower down that right hand. Bring that left leg back. Downward dog. Plank. Take your flow. This time we're going to come into all fours. I'm going to bring the right hand directly down onto the mat. Tuck those back toes to give us a little bit more support. Inhale. On the exhale, we're going to lift that left hand up. And on the exhale, we're going to bring that left hand to come between that right hand, right arm, and the thighs until we come all the way through. And then we're going to lengthen that right arm. And from here, we're going to bump that right hip back so that our hips are parallel to the front of the mat. And if you have space, if you have room here, you can lengthen that right leg and open up just a little bit deeper onto that right side, just opening up that right side. If not, this is a nice place to be. I just have variations for you. Slowly sliding that right hand in front of us, planting against the floor, lifting that left hand up and down. I'm going to switch. Bringing that right hand directly down. Exhaling that left arm up. And on another exhale, we're going to, oh, I did this side already, sorry. I did this for a reason. The right arm comes up. Now we're going to bring it through. Coming onto the right cheek. And this time we're bumping that left hip back. Sliding that left hand forward. Lengthening that left leg. Whichever pose you chose on the opposite side, you want to stay even. Even Stevens. Taking a couple of breaths here. Slowly sliding that left hand in front of our eyes, pressing against that left hand, coming all the way up and down. Very nice. We're going to bring our legs around and underneath us. Bring our legs out. Sitting nice and tall on our seat. We're going to inhale, lengthen, exhale, over. So you can make this either a passive or an active stretch. A passive stretch, we're hanging out here. This is our pose. We're making this active. We're flexing those feet. We're lengthening that spine. We're using those arms. So now I have a nice long spine from the base of my seat through the crown of my head. So we're going to inhale to lengthen, use those arms to really either hold the feet or hold your pants or hold your ankles wherever you are. Lengthen and exhale to use those arms and bring you closer down towards your thighs. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower down. Just a couple more here. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower down. Last one. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to lower down. On the next inhale, we're going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. And then if this is comfortable for you, what we're going to do is that we're going to, let me start on this side. We're going to bring the left leg around like so. So this might be enough. This might be all that you need. You don't have to go any further than this. If not, you make sure that the mat is underneath you. So maybe you might have to move over so that you have a nice cushion for that beautiful foot of yours. And if you need a little bit more, we're going to lower down onto our elbows, getting a nice stretch on our ankles and also in our hips and in our quads. And if you need to go a little bit further, you can go ahead and lay back all the way down. And you're going to bring your arms overhead and grab your elbows with your hands. So it'll look like this. Gently lower down. And then our hands come over our heads and we grab onto our elbows. But if not, this is nice. This is a stretch. Literally, this is literally a stretch. You can also release your foot to make this a little bit more comfortable for you so that it's open. And then we're going to come up onto our palms and we're going to release our foot. Roll it out the opposite direction. Then we're going to switch and bring that right leg in. So we're going to bring that right leg in either onto the tops of those feet or opened up. And then we're going to come down onto our elbows or lower down all the way and then holding on to our elbows. This could also be a passive or active stretch. Passive is like, like we're watching TV, but we're also stretching. Active is flexing that left foot, lengthening through the spine, engaging the core, and holding here. Relax, releasing that foot if you haven't already. Making sure you have some mat underneath that foot. Slowly coming up. Releasing our right foot, bending our knees. We're going to come to lay on our backs. We're going to cross the right foot over the left foot. I'm sorry, the right leg over the left leg. So we want to cross the whole leg. And then we're just going to let our knees fall over towards the left side. And we're going to look over to the right side. Making the letter T with our palms. And maybe bringing that left hand on top of that right knee just to help it, just to guide it, come down towards the mat. Just using the weight of your hand. I'm not pushing it down, I'm just using the weight of my hand to lower down that knee and stretch out and twist out our spine in this beautiful, wonderful sleep pine twist. Gently coming back up to center. Uncrossing our legs. And just letting our body recalibrate here. And then we're going to cross that left leg over the right thigh. Hands out to make the letter T. And letting our legs and knees fall over and maybe reaching the ground, looking over towards the left side, bringing our hands on top of that left knee and allowing gravity to just lower it down. And remember to breathe. And gently letting our knees come back up. And we're going to bring our knees into our chest. Bring our forehead towards our knees. Hands to elbows or hands to wrists or hands interlaced. Letting our heads fall back gently. And rocking left and right. Releasing any tension we may have created in our lower back. Giving ourselves a little bit of a lower lumbar massage. Going to gently release, and then we're going to make nice big circles with our knees. Going in one direction and then going in the opposite direction. Going to gently release our feet. Let our legs come out long. And our hands towards the sides, palms facing the ceiling, coming into our Shavasana pose. Closing our eyes and letting our bodies really melt into the mat. Taking in all the sounds that are around us. Inhaling and exhaling. Slowly coming back to our bodies by wiggling our fingers and wiggling our toes. On an inhale, bringing our hands up over our heads. Bringing our knees towards the sky and our feet towards the mat. Letting our knees fall over to one side, coming into a fetal position. And then using that top arm to press into the floor to help us come up into a seat. So ending our practice in the same way that we started off our practice. Inhale, bring our arms up, palms together. Exhale, bring them down to heart center. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, palms together and down to the brow. So that we may remember that whatever we think, we create. Therefore, we'll be very mindful of the thoughts that we think. Thoughts to our throats so that we remember to speak in truth and in justice. And thumbs to our heart so that we remember the beauty and the joy that we bring to this planet, that we bring to this earth. Remembering to be kind and gentle with ourselves. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful practices here with me today. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Namaste.